Oh, thank you, Felicity. Thumbs up. Excellent. Thank you so much for being here, guys. My name is Gemma McQueen, and I am the team leader for Team Thermofans, team of Thermomix consultants on the north coast of New South Wales. Tonight we are cooking, and I am joined by my beautiful son Wesley tonight. So when I'm talking to Wes, I'm not talking to myself. I do have a person here, although I don't think we'll ever see Wes on the screen ever again. He's become quite camera shy. Is that right? Yeah, okay. So he is helping me tonight, and we're going to have a look at the TM7. Excitingly, at the moment, we are actually in a period where we are offering a trade up. So if you've got any of the other previous Thermomix models, TM31, TM5, TM6, at the moment, Thermomix are offering you a discount or a cashback on purchasing your very own TM7. So I'll give you a little run through the TM7. I'll let you know a couple of the differences, as well as if you're watching this for the first of looking at the Thermomix for the first time, as well. So before we get started, we'll let you know the price. So number 5, Wesley, what's included? Thank you, darling. Okay, so it is $2,649. It comes with everything that you see there on the screen. And we do have quite a lot of flexible payment options available, which I will go through a little bit later in the demo, as well.
Someone's calling your phone.
Oh, someone's calling me.
Just hang it up.
Hang it up, Wesley. Thank you. I've never had that in all the years of doing online demos. No one's ever called in the middle of the thing. Anyhow, so that's the price. We've got some flexible payment options available, and we will talk about them later in the demo. So let's get into cooking. So we've got a few different ways that we can cook with the TM7. So if you just go to the modes page for me, Wezzy. Thank you. There is kind of 3 options with the TM7. So you can manually cook. So if you've got a TM31 or a TM5 that's not got Cookidoo, you're used to manual cooking. You 100% can do all of that in the TM7 in the manual mode. We've also got guided cooking, which is has brought the TM7 miles in front of any of the previous models that didn't have Cookidoo. And we've also got modes. So we've got lots of different modes as well. So there's kind of, you can choose your own adventure with how you cook in your TM7. I will just say that, thanks, Duh. I will just say that anything that you could do in the previous model Thermomixes, you can do in the TM7 plus more. So lots of times people are like, oh, but can I, manually cook because I've got a Skinny Mixers cookbook or something like that, and I'm used to putting in the time, temperature, speed myself. Yes, you definitely can do that in a TM7 if you don't have the recipe on Cookidoo. So tonight's little demonstration for you, I've already started cooking in my TM7, and I have made the yummiest boiled, I was going to say fried, it's not fried, it's boiled rice. And what I did is I'm going to make the Mongolian lamb tonight in the demo. And what I did is I left the marinade, I made the marinade for my lamb, and then I left it in the bowl, filled it with water, put my rice in to my simmering basket, which is there, and I've cooked my rice in water and the marinade from the lamb. And I've done this once before, and it's absolutely delicious. Okay, but if you are someone who often stuffs up cooking boiled rice, the Thermomix does it perfectly every single time. So there's my boiled rice. I'm popping that into my thermo server, and that's been sitting there for a while because it's been ready for a few minutes, but let's just get that out. I'll just have to give it a good with my spatula. Usually that comes out really easily because it just slides straight out, but like I said, I've let that cool down in there, so it's kind of, it's sticky rice. Wes loves sticky rice, so he'll be happy about that. I'm not a big fan of sticky rice, but what was that? Oh, you're going to have that when you get home from the gym. Okay, lovely. The more carbs, the better. Okay, so have a look at that rice. Actually, Wes, can you go to the up top camera? Oh no, I'm really testing you. There you go. Look at that rice. It's just like fluffy and beautiful. And you can kind of see the color of it because it has cooked in this kind of brothy kind of, yeah, flavored water. Anyway, I'm putting that in my thermo server, and you might see my thermo server, and I will tell you how you get one of these later in the demo as well. Oh, that's totally fine if someone else jumps in, Alana, no problems at all. I've popped it in my thermo server. The thermo server will keep that rice hot for 2 hours or more, and then I can get on with my main. Now, that water has got a bit of starch and stuff in it from the rice. I'm just going to discard that. But I'm not going to worry about really like washing that bowl. It's still nice and clean as well. So now is the fun part. We're going to cook our Mongolian lamb. Now, I actually did this today as a one-on-one with a customer, and I just, the flavors and everything, I'm just like, oh, I'm going to have to cook that tonight because I just love it so much. I have told the Thermomix that that's what we're planning today, and it was actually because I was doing that at 1 o'clock today, but we'll do it again because, you know, it's always a good day for Mongolian lamb. And once you hit the recipe, we're now in Cookidoo. Okay, so I've hit the recipe and I can scroll down and have a look at the ingredients, or I can hit preparation and have a look at the steps, you know, to get ready for this recipe. All of the nutritional information is there, everything that would be in your cookbook. But the TM7 doesn't come with a cookbook. We're minimalist. It is all on your screen and inside of Cookidoo. So I'm going to hit start, and I've already done some of this recipe because, like I said to you before, I've already made the marinade. So I'll just let you know what's in the marinade. So no buying jar marinades or packet mixes or anything like that. The marinade that I put on my lamb tonight was ginger, egg, soy sauce, brown sugar, corn flour, bicarb, and a couple of garlic cloves. I've blitzed it up, then I've just stirred it through my lamb and put it away. It says that you can marinate it from an hour to overnight. So, you know, this got like probably an hour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll now through those steps that I've already done. And I'm actually going to press my little buttons and say, make this the current step, because I'm skipping forward in the recipe to where I'm up to. Rightio. So all of these steps are because this recipe is in the Cookidoo, and I'll tell you a little bit about the Cookidoo as we go. I've just got my few ingredients here. So I'm going to put in my onion. Now, as soon as the Thermomix knows that I'm up to a weighing step, those scales automatically come up. Really cool thing that the TM7 does is if I had the lid on and I take the lid off, it will automatically tear back to 0. So I don't ever accidentally take the lid off and then overfill the Thermomix because I've put too much stuff in. So I'm on 0. I'm going to put my onions in. I've got a little bit extra onion there, but that's okay. I'll set those aside. I didn't weigh those. So I've put my onion in, and then I'm just putting some peanut oil, 40 grams. It's ticked off my onion for me. I'm just pouring in 40 grams. There we go. Are you laughing at me, Wesley? I've got a little side happening here. Okay, so I went a little bit heavy with the peanut oil, so it doesn't know if I was putting more onion in or what I was doing. So it's not ticking off peanut oil for me. So I'm going to tick that now, and I'm going to say next. And now we're going to chop this up. And 3 seconds, speed 5 is all the Thermomix needs to do half. The onions were just halved, okay? So anytime you're chucking stuff in your Thermomix that's actually going to chop in there, think of half a tomato, half an onion, carrot in 2 or 3. That's totally fine. Then we're going to scrape down the sides. This is what our new spatula looks like, which is lovely. You might have seen how I hooked that basket out. That's part of the ingenious design of your spatula. Right, I'm just scraping that onion down, so just so that all of the onion are just at the bottom there of the thing. Oh, what did I do then, Wes? doesn't like that. Or I've put that. I know, I need to put it on straight. I know, there we go. It's just because I'm behind it, I was putting it on a bit weird. Anyway, it's on straight now. Okay, so now we're sauteing the onions. So I'm just hitting play. Listen to that. We are on speed 1 and it is completely silent. I will hear the onions sizzling in a minute or in about 20 seconds, but that's the only noise. So that the new Thermomix the motor is so much quieter than the previous models. Okay, Wesley, can you please show me the Cookidoo slide? Because I will just explain a little bit more about Cookidoo. So we now have got Cookidoo 3.0, which Cookidoo like never before, because we've got the TM7 like never before. And with Cookidoo 3.0, we not only have access to all of our recipes like we always have had with Cookidoo, we now can create our own recipes. We can modify the existing recipes, like we can make changes or completely change them, you know, altogether. We can also do our meal planning and create our shopping lists and then connect to Woolworths online and do back to me. Yeah, thanks, Phil. And connect back to Woolworths online. And the other great thing in Cookidoo is when you've got your Cookidoo app on your phone, you can actually go from there, find a recipe and actually send it straight to your Thermomix so that you can be one touch and you're cooking. So that'll be really good if I know somebody was telling me the other day that their daughter was about to start cooking and she didn't know which recipe it was, and she just sent the recipe straight to the Thermomix. So these are all things that the Cookidoo are getting a little bit smarter and a little bit more user-friendly than maybe if you have a TM5. You might have a cook key, but you had to sync it. The TM6 took a little while for Cookidoo to sync when you had favorited things and all that kind of stuff. This Cookidoo is now instant. There's none of that lag time or anything like that. When you first get your Thermomix, you get 3 months for free with Cookidoo. And then after that, Cookidoo 3.0 is $89 per year. So it will be your cheapest subscription probably that you have in your collection as well. So girls, please feel free to pop any questions in the side, down the side. I would be very happy to answer questions. Now, when you're cooking in a Thermomix and people say, well, you know, does it save you much time? This is 4.5 minutes where I'm just standing here talking for 4.5 minutes. If I was at home, or I am at home, if I was upstairs in my kitchen, I could find something to do for that 4.5 minutes, okay? So you are never just standing, twiddling your thumbs, waiting for your Thermomix. And that's where your time saving comes into it. You know, 4.5 minutes, you can put a load of washing on, you can unpack the dishwasher, you know, you can get your washing up done and you're then back to the next step, okay? So there's lots of time saving things with the Thermomix. The other big time saving is meal planning. So meal planning saves a lot of time and a lot of money, but really that mental load of knowing what you're having for dinner each night, are the groceries done, is the food in the fridge ready to cook, you know, all of that stuff, that is a huge time saver. And that is just Cookidoo helps you so much with that as well. So when we're talking about saving money with the Thermomix, I don't know how much, I should actually price how much a large rice, well, that would be probably two large rices from the Chinese, and a container of Mongolian lamb is, because I should do a price comparison, but this is like a takeaway meal for a fraction of the cost as well. So I will one day, not today, I will work out what this Mongolian lamb actually costs, and it does make a lot more than a small container what you buy as well. So it's hard to compare these things, but you know, you're definitely saving money. Okay, so our sauteing of our onion is finished, so we'll just go next. And now we put in our lamb. So this is the lamb that I've marinated earlier. The tip if you're going to make this, for those that have got a Thermomix, is when you cut your lamb, you want to cut it in really nice thin slices. I don't know if you can see that. Is that showing up, Wes? Yeah. So and when you're cutting your lamb, you don't want to cut it in cubes. You want to like slither it and get your knife, get a really nice sharp knife, and you want to be like flaking bits of lamb away. You can ask your butcher to do it. What I do for this particular meal is I get a leg of lamb and I get the butcher just to bone it out for me, because that's the hardest bit, is getting the bone out, and then you can take the bone home for your dog. And then you just then you've got like a butterflied piece of lamb, and then you can actually just shave off the pieces of lamb that you want. So that's probably the most economical way of doing it as well, because a leg of lamb's a little bit cheaper than like a back strap, or you could use a back strap, you could use lamb rump, but legs are a little bit cheaper as well. So I've popped my marinated lamb in. Go next. Oh, I'm rushing myself here now. So now I'm going to put in a couple of other ingredients. So I've got my sambal Oakley, which is like a chili paste. So yeah, chili paste, that's what it is. I'm going to chuck in that. Do you want this nice and hot tonight, Wes? Hey? Oh, no, you don't. Oh, not too much. Okay. I like it nice and spicy. Rightio. So a tablespoon of that, some hoisin sauce. And look, I'm very just kind of about measurements with this, because it really it keeps it interesting. Some nights it's a bit chillier, some nights it's a bit sweeter. That's about enough of that. Oh, you don't like that amount, Wes? He thinks that was too heavy-handed, but I think it was fine. So I've done that. I've done my hoisin. Chinese 5 spice. You really only want to stick to what it says of this, which is half a teaspoon. You definitely don't want to go overboard with the Chinese 5 spice. It's quite spicy. So let's just literally half a teaspoon. He's a bit worried about that half a teaspoon too. Rightio, and a tablespoon of your rice wine vinegar. And I've just spilled that everywhere, but that's okay. That's about enough rice wine vinegar. And some sesame oil. Where's my sesame oil, Wes? It's gone missing. I had it today. I must have left it. I must have left it behind at my demo, but that's okay. I've got another one here. And I'm only going a tablespoon of sesame oil, but I actually really love sesame oil flavour as well. Rightio. So that's our extra flavours in with that. So just wash my hands. So I've got rice wine vinegar all over me. When you're thinking about cutting out additives and preservatives and colours and flavours and all that kind of stuff, when you look at stuff like this where you've got like a Mongolian flavour, say, it is just a mixture of a few different spices and sauces and stuff. It really doesn't have to have, 100 different ingredients and numbers and colours and all that kind of stuff, which is what you would if you bought a jar mix of Mongolian lamb. The ingredients list is like the whole back of the jar in tiny writing. So this is a really good like takeaway where you're not sacrificing any flavour. I think it's actually tastier than takeaway, but you're also not relying on a jar or a packet either, which is really healthy as well. Rightio. Now, Wesley, can you go to the payment options, and we'll quickly run through the payment options, because can you believe it? That meal is going to be cooked in 6 minutes. That's how quickly the Thermomix cooks that, and it is completely silent. You hear that? Nothing. Yeah. Anyway, rightio. So payment options. Let's do this. So at the moment, we have got a really great offer to come and join our team and earn your own TM7 in 90 days. So if anyone's ever looked at that before, it used to be 60 days, now it's 90 days, and you're earning that with 6 sales in your 90 days. So that could be a really good option if you're interested in sharing the Thermomix with people. Now we've got lots of other payment options, Afterpay, PayPal, all that kind of stuff. What else have we got there, Wes? Excellent, thank you. Yes, I've already talked about that one. Love it, get it, join the team. It's lots of fun. Our 24 months interest free, we've got two 24 months interest free partners at the moment. We've got Humm and ZIP, and depending on which one if you've got one of these guys already, you can definitely add it to the one that you've already got. If you're applying, definitely best to apply via the link that your consultant sends you. But Humm and ZIP are just over $25 a week to finance and pay off your Thermomix in 24 months. So really good option, especially if the budget's a little bit tight at the moment. You don't want to spend the whole $2,649. The finance options are really good. You can pay them off anytime with no penalty. So if you needed to pay it off early, or you could pay it off early, you don't get charged any extra fees or anything like that. What else have we got, Wes? That's it. That's all the payment options, is it? We've also got no, that's all right. Maybe that is all the payment options. I might not have one for Zip. But Zip is it's still 24 months interest free, and it's just over $25 a week. They work out at about the same amount. With Humm, you pay a little bit of a deposit. With Zip, you don't. So the weekly thing with Zip is a tiny little bit less. But yeah, that they both work out really affordable. And if you chat to your consultant, we've actually got a savings calculator that we can send you. So if you're worried about not being able to afford a Thermomix, get your consultant to share the savings calculator with you. So that will actually show you, if you change a couple of things that you're doing and start making some things in your Thermomix, how much you potentially could save every month. And then you'll be able to work out if you can fit it into your shopping budget, or grocery budget or whatever, and fit that $25 a week in. And we can definitely show you how you can do that along with the savings calculator as well. So, Wesley, can you just show the host reward one? So at the moment, I did allude to the thermo server. And just come back to me. Thanks, Wes. So at the moment, our host reward, which our hosts basically are people who have already got a Thermomix or are thinking about getting a Thermomix, who want to share the Thermomix with their friends, and we reward you for doing so. So at the moment, if someone buys at your demonstration, you get a thermo server for free. If you just have a demonstration and nobody buys, you get a discounted price. I think $60. I think it is. Don't quote me on that. So the thermo server. But the other really cool thing is, just released, and I only just got mine out of the box, is the Cutter Plus attachment for the TM7. So this is now a host reward that just for hosting a demonstration, you get a discount on this. And if one of your friends buys, you get a greater discount. Now, what does this do, I hear you ask? Is this grates and slices, as well as spiralizes, this side, spiralizes and zoodles things. So if you're thinking, zucchini noodles, the potatoes on a stick that are like twirly potatoes on a stick, you can do that with the Thermomix with your Cutter Plus. Or any other grating and slicing that you might need to do. So if you've got, an old food processor, or, you're still grating your cheese by hand, that's what this can help you with as well. So only available at the moment as a host reward. And Wes, can you just go to the next online demo, which is Q. Our next online demo is actually this Sunday. And you can actually be a host at our online demo by just coming along, registering for our online demo like this one, and inviting 2 friends. And that's all you have to do to be able to earn host rewards. So if you're thinking about getting a TM7, then you 100% should also invite a couple of friends along to watch an online demo, because then you will be able to take advantage of the host rewards and get yourself a cutter or a thermo server. Everybody needs at least I want to say 3 or 4, but I've only got one of these because they're new, but I've got a fair few of the old ones. But this is my very only one of these. So everybody needs a couple of thermo servers. You definitely need a cutter if you're thinking about doing you know, salads come summer, spiralized noodles with spaghetti bowl rather than pasta, all that kind of stuff. Great for that. Okay, so now I'm going to scrape down the sides and give this a mix. Oh, yum. Give it a good stir. It's looking delicious. And that was only 6 minutes. Can you believe 6 minutes? Rightio. Now I'm going to go next, and I'm going to check the seasoning. I never do that. I'm not a cook. I just follow. Well, I loosely follow the recipe, very loosely, and I'm just going to. It just says to cook this for 1 more minute, or as long as you think it needs. So I'm going to give it the extra minute that it says that it needs. And then I'm just going to taste it and just make sure it's cooked. And if it's not, I'll just give it 1 more minute. We definitely don't want to overcook our lamb because then it'll be tough and not nice. So 1 minute to the go time. Have I missed any of my Cookidoo lesson, Wes? Show me the Cookidoo lesson. So I know I keep banging on about Cookidoo, but it really is the thing that has made the TM7 just amazing and so user-friendly. So every month we offer a Cookidoo lesson, or a couple actually, Cookidoo lessons for our customers to come along and learn about Cookidoo. So it is a whole, like, I don't know, like there's so many things within Cookidoo, searching different tags and finding recipes. Like there's over 90,000 recipes. So you really need to have a really good look in there to find out what's going to suit you and your family to cook and all of that. Also learning how to do meal planning, how to make our shopping list, how to connect to Woolworths. Also then our advanced Cookidoo part is about how to make those recipes, convert grandma's slice recipe or something like that to Cookidoo, modify a recipe that's already in there. Like if you had this dish and you're like, oh, it's really nice, but I'd like it double the spice, you could actually just go in, modify the Mongolian lamb and, double the spice or something like that. And then you would have step by step just the way that you like it. So I'm going to have a little try of this. I've been thinking about this all day because I had my one-on-one with a customer today at 1 o'clock, and I've been dreaming of the Mongolian lamb ever since. So let me have a little try. Oh, so good. Oh, so spicy. Oh, so good. Anyway, that is our Mongolian lamb. Maybe I should plate some up, Wes, just to get fancy. Hey, do you think? No? Oh. It's up to me. Thank you, Wes. Rightio, let's plate up. I feel like I'm on Better Homes and Gardens, or one of those cooking shows. Rightio. So there we go. There's our rice, and I'm going to pop this in there. If you're watching from up Casino Way, we are going to be at the Lismore Shopping Square on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this week. So come say hi because we'd love to see you. There you go. There is your Mongolian lamb and rice, cooked in, I don't know, what's the time? 35 minutes from start to finish. So there we go. Thank you so much for watching. If you're ready to get your Thermomix, make sure that you talk to the consultant that shared this video with you, or have a look in the description below. And thank you so much for joining us. Are we finished?